Welcome to Wisdom of the World. Today I'm going to tell a story from the Middle East, from Israel, a Jewish story. It is about always standing up for what is right, even if you are the underdog. It's a famous story. It's called David and Goliath. And it goes like this. Once upon a time, there was King Saul, who was the king of the Jewish people. Now, King Saul had gotten into trouble with the Lord, with God. And God has sent a prophet called Samuel, a prophet, to find a new king, which he would found with the sons of Jesse. So he asked Jesse, and all the 7 sons of Jesse were paraded in front of him, but none really found favor with the prophet. So he says, "Do you really not have any other son?" And he says, "Yeah, I do. I have one small boy, but he is really a little boy, and he is a shepherd. He's herding my sheep." And the prophet said, "Okay, just show him also to me." So he had to wait a while, and then David, the little shepherd's son, was brought in front of him. And immediately he saw, that's the one, a young boy, beautiful curly locks. And so he knew that was going to be the new king. In the meantime, none of this was known to the king himself, King Saul. And King Saul was having a hard time, increasingly a hard time. So much that every little thing really upset him, made him hugely angry. And he said, "Please, the only thing that calms me down is music." And then somebody had the courage to say, "Oh, I know a boy who plays the harp very, very well. His name is David. He's the son of Jesse." And the king said, "Okay, go get him for me." And the king looked at David and liked him. I said, "Okay, you can be my shield bearer, and I want you to play for me whenever I am troubled, whenever I am angry. Music soothes me down." Now, in those days, war was always close by. So the army of the neighbors, the Philistines, had come up to fight against King Saul and his army. And so they all prepared for an army. A huge battle was in the making. There were 2 armies, both on hilltops, and they were going to fight it out. But they were hesitant because battle is a serious matter. And so from the Philistines came this big giant of a guy called Goliath. And he said, "Hey, if anybody wants to fight me, I'm the champion of the Philistines, then I will fight with him. If he wins, we will be your slaves. But if I win, your people, you will be our slaves. So only the blood of one needs to be shed, and not of a whole army. So who will take me up on my offer?" Now nobody stepped forward. And this went on for many, many days. And in those days, you see, soldiers brought their own food with them. And the father, Jesse, was worried because he had sent 3 of his sons for the battle. And he asked David, said, "Please go bring some loaves of bread and some cheese to your brothers, my 3 sons. So David set out and finally found the army of King Saul, where his 3 brothers were, and he saw also, and he heard about this dangerous big giant, the champion of the Philistine, who was challenging everybody. And he saw him also walk, every time repeating his message. But it was now for 40 days he had done that. So there was no choice. Nobody wanted to come and fight him, so they all were ready. They were gearing up for battle. And David looked and looked and looked and finally found his brothers, his oldest brother, who said, "What are you doing here?" And he said, "Well, I'm bringing you some loaves of bread, so some food for you and some cheese to eat." And the brother said, "This is no place for a boy like you. Yeah? Look, the battle is about to begin. If that is your idea of fun, go home." And David said, "Well, if nobody wants to fight that monster, that giant of a guy, then I will." So he went to King Saul and said to the king, "I am ready to fight that giant Goliath, who embarrasses all of us." And the king said, "You are not a warrior, you are just a boy, you are not trained to fight." And David didn't give up, and he says, "Listen, it is true, I am a herder, and I herd my sheep, but I have to protect him against bears and lions, and I need to kill the bears and lions so that they don't eat my sheep. If I can kill a lion, I can also do this with this giant Goliath." And so the king was very hesitant, but in the end he said, "Okay, go, and may God be with you." So he even gave David his shields and everything. And David put it on, but it was just too heavy for him. He was just a little boy, so he took it off and he said, "I just go like this. It feels much better." So he took his sling and 5 pebbles in it, 5 stones in it, smooth stones, and a stick, and up he walked towards Goliath. And Goliath first saw this little boy coming and said, "Boy, go play somewhere else." He didn't realize that this was the champion that King Saul was sending. And David said, "I'm not afraid of you. You may have an armor and a sword and a shield. I have none of that, but I am not afraid of you. I have God with me." So Goliath saw that the time of talking was over. So Goliath went up towards the boy, and the boy had no idea of, how to deflect the blow of a sword or anything like that. All that he saw, he looked at Goliath with the eyes of a shepherd. All he saw was a lion, and he saw that lion's forehead was unprotected. So he took out his sling and he slung a rock towards the forehead, really hard, of Goliath the giant, and it knocked the giant right out. And Goliath walked towards the giant, took his sword out and cut off his head. The battle between these two men was over almost before it started. The army of the Philistine fled in terror, and King Saul's army had won the battle. David was the hero. He became a captain in the army. But the king was jealous, so the rise of David towards being a king was not easy. But for now, he was a hero. He was the underdog, and he stood up for what was right. Thank you.